Okay, so welcome everybody to my panel about how to Brony in public. I want to start this panel with answering a short question about who is ANY. Basically, what qualifies me to stand here and talk to you guys about how you should display your part in the fandom, or that you are a member of the fandom in public. What does qualify me for this? And to give a little bit of a heads up, don't worry, this panel is not going to be about me. There's really only this one slide about me. And I crammed everything together in this one list. I will just go over it quickly and then we move on. So basically, to give a little bit backstory of my history, back then in September 2011, I didn't know anything about MLP. I was completely unaware even of the memes that have already been going on in the internet. And but I was a big fan of Channel Awesome. You guys might know people like the Nostalgia Critic, like Linkara, Angry Joe, all those people from Channel Awesome. Big fanboy, complete fanboy. One of them I was a fanboy of was Chad Rocco. And Chad Rocco at least used to be a Brony. He kind of got disappointed by the direction the show took in season 3 onwards. And nowadays he is more like, the very grumpy X-fan. But back then in season 2, he was like the super fan. He was on Channel Awesome. He was the poster child Brony. And so he made this video, those two-parter MLP retrospect. In the first one, he talked about the first 3 generations, and then the second part, which is talking about the new one, Friendship is Magic. And being the easily influenced fan I was like, okay, Chad Rocco tells me to watch this show, so I watched this show. That's basically my history, how I became a Brony. It took me another year to actually start my own YouTube channel. As I mentioned, I was Channel Awesome fanboy. I loved the Nostalgia Critic, and I had actually a channel before this entire pony thing where I tried to do something similar with reviews and whatnot. And when season 3 started, I was like, okay, why not let's do this one video about ponies. But I didn't want it to spoil and corrupt my old, super successful 50 subscriber channel with those pony stuff. So I was like, I better create my own channel now. And I even used the color scheme from my original show for the new pony OC. And yeah, I created my channel a year later with season 3 and started doing those episodic reviews. And it was really, at the beginning it was like, oh well, let's see, I just make this one for fun. Then it was easy enough, and I had another one, and yeah, here I am. Further progression in me turning public as a Brony. December 2012 was a rather busy month. I went to my first meetup with Bronies back in my old hometown, like actually meeting them in real life and interacting with them, not just on the internet, but really meeting, eating cupcakes together. We literally went to a cupcake store. Whatever. It was also the first month where I showed my face on camera. It was during my, Apple Family Reunion review. At one point, I switched from my OC and footage to Facecam and was like, doing some silly stuff into the camera. Also, at the very end of December, I believe it was 28th, 29th, whatever, I started a video podcast, the Crepuscular Bronies Discuss podcast with my friend Biter back then, which was also me in public, on camera, talking about ponies on the internet, which was, once again, another step of committing to it and showing face. Then just usual stuff, channel progressed, whatever. In August 2012, then I went to GalaCon in Ludwigsburg, which was the next step of evolution for me, to not just go to a meetup, but this public big event with hundreds of people. I even managed to get a seat on a shared panel about podcasts, where basically there was beforehand there was this kind of note like, hey, if you do a podcast, let us know, then you can be part of it. So it was a rather easy thing, and I shared it with 5 other people, and I was probably especially when it comes to podcasts, the smallest one of them. So, but once again, like sitting there in front of people and being like, hey, I'm a Brony, look at me. Then a while later, in February 2014, I did my first real-life crossover with this guy and this guy, Andy and Dustin. It was basically, first of all, a React video. I just moved to Berlin. Those two guys helped me move in. Big thanks for this once again. And we were there. It was like hell there. Thanks for helping me. Now we're here. We are drinking something, having eating a few chips. $50. You got a pony review. Shut up. And the thing was, we were sitting there and they were like, "Oh, there's a new episode that came out. Have you watched it?" "No, I haven't. It's Saturday, so want to watch it together?" "Sure. I have a channel. Should we record?" "Oh yeah, let's record it." So this is how the first crossover between with those two came to be, and and especially Andy and I continue doing a crossover every now and then. So yeah, cooperating with bronies in real life, like whoa. Then in February 2015, once again, thanks to Andy, I was part of an interview by the magazine Wired, the February version, which is like even a step further because this is not even brony territory anymore. I moved out there, showed my face in an article, and was like talking about ponies to a reporter, which was really weird. But fun. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. And last but not least, last year here on Brony Fair, I had a panel about YouTubing on, bronying on YouTube or reactions and analysis on YouTube. Right. And now I'm standing here and talking about all my experiences as somebody who is putting his face out there and admitting to the world, hey, look, I like candy-colored horses. And so the first aspect I want to talk about when it comes to how to present yourself to the world is branding. I put this in quotations mark because branding sounds like something corporations do and stuff, but I mean it also on a private sector. Like, for example, you have your YouTube channel for the brony stuff, where even if you're not a content creator, you like to comment or to like videos, so you have your channel for this. And you might also be active in forums and have your profile there as well. And you might want that people you interacted with in a comment section on YouTube recognize you in the forum as well. So be like, hey, it's you, I remember you. And then you can continue the conversation with the people. So in order to be recognized, you need to do a little bit of branding to help people recognize you, being it's the name, the avatar you use, color schemes, whatever. I mean, you don't have to do it to the excessive level I do, because, since I actually produce a lot of content and are also active in other areas like Let's Plays and furry fandom, I have this, I took it to the next level, the blue hairs everywhere, the brownish tones, but yeah, you don't have to go to this kind of excessive level. However, when you do it, even for your small private levels, out of personal experience, I want to give you a very good advice. Try to keep it somehow pony neutral. Because there's a thing, as much as you love the fandom, as much as you are involved in it right now, and you might even be a hardcore brony 10 years down the line, but you might want to do other stuff as well. You might talk about, I don't know, Steven Universe. You might want to talk about Avatar, or not cartoon show. You might also be in Breaking Bad or Dexter. But then you have this channel, which is, for example, called ANY Ponies Movies. I will never get rid of this. My channel will forever be ANY Ponies Movies. And even if I want to talk about other stuff, I have two opportunities. First, continue even so it has this URL, or create a completely new channel, start from scratch. But even for you guys, when you are just part of the community, where you just like to interact with other people, starting from scratch, rebuilding all those connections you have, all the friends you made, and tell them, hey, could you also talk to me on my new channel, profile, whatever, that would suck. So my advice, if you haven't already, create it with a more neutral tone, because otherwise you might stuck with a YouTube channel called ANY Pony, a DeviantArt channel, ANY Pony's Favorites, a Tumblr, the ANY Pony, or a Twitter, which is also called the ANY Pony. I know on DeviantArt you can actually, when you become a premium member and pay them money, you can actually change your URL. However, this is only DeviantArt, and as far as I know, you can't do it for the other three. So all the connections, all the followings I have on those other channels, and also DeviantArt, because I'm not an artist, I will never pay the fee. I'm stuck as ANY Pony forever on those forums. Or I completely abandon my old profiles and move on to new ones. So my advice, don't do it. Because even so I tried to do a little bit of rebrand with my YouTube channel and rename it to ANY Entertainment so that I can say I talk about everything entertaining, not only ponies, but other shows, games, movies, whatever. I am still stuck with the URL ANY Ponies Movies. So, but I'm also not the only one. For example, maybe some of you who have been around a little bit longer still remember the good old DigiBro. Nowadays, 150,000 subscribers, and he has an anime channel. He's an anime reviewer nowadays. And I don't believe he has done anything pony in ages. Can't tell, I'm not following him anymore because, well, I'm not too crazy about anime reviews. But yeah, if you look closely, his channel URL is still DigiBrony MLP. And he will not get rid of it. Similar example, Tommy Oliver. He talks about tech stuff. He is an artist. He talks about writing and drawing and stuff. However, his channel URL on his old main channel is and stays Brony Curious. But of course, there are also examples of people who did it better. Take, for example, Josh Scorcher. Josh Scorcher, he already does a lot of stuff that is not MLP related. He started out as, I believe, a Let's Player, and he also did a little bit of review stuff. This is, of course, his internet nickname, but it is not a pony-related nickname. It's a neutral one. And so, same for his URL on YouTube. It's Josh Scorcher. He can be Josh Scorcher, the pony reviewer, but in 10 years he can also be Josh Scorcher, the, I don't know what will be great then, Monster High reviewer, I don't know. I have never seen it. This statement was completely neutral. No. I leave the judging to you. Or let's take a look at this tricky bastard. His YouTube name is MLP Silverquill. However, if you take a closer look, his URL actually is TCS Silver, completely neutral. So if he ever decides to move on and leave all the bronies behind, he can just change his channel name, has a completely neutral URL, and can just move on. So yeah, question?
What about KP?
Well, this is an interesting case because her channel IP is probably I Love Kim Possible a lot, which is already a little bit of branding in and of itself, but then again she talks about bronies, so that's an interesting edge case, I admit. But yeah, while we are talking about Silverquill, we might come to the next question. What about your Ponysona or your OC? First of all, a little bit of information. A Ponysona, just to get those terms a little bit cleared up because they often get used synonym, a Ponysona is basically a stand-in for you, an avatar, a pony that represents you as you are, while an OC stands for original character, which is its own character with its own backstory, own personality, and so on. So usually when you read a fiction, for example, and there is this character which doesn't come from the show but was invented by the writer himself, it's an original character, an OC. Usually we kind of tend to call our Ponysonas OCs as well. Nevertheless, this is just nitpicking on my end, sorry about this. A small advice about the don'ts and do's about Ponysona. My personal advice would be don't go with the run-of-the-mill pony creator OC, because they all have this kind of, first of all, they carry this stigma of, oh no, it's a pony creator OC. Then you are also very unflexible with what you can do with them. You only have the assets that come with the creator, especially in the older version, you only have this stare to the side, and when you then move the eye that it looks into the camera, it looks especially creepy, so I would advise not doing this. Obviously, there are exceptions to the rule, like for example, Canned Cream. He uses a Ponysona in his videos, he's also a video reviewer, and this is a pony creator. I believe Pony Creator 3 had the view to the head turned to the front. He uses it exclusively, and it works very well. But it is hard to pull off, and I would not recommend anybody trying to do it. My advice is go with something original. Maybe show style, if you can get your hands on show style poses. And also try to make your OC a little bit more subtle. Don't overload it with a lot of items. I mean, if you look, they are mostly naked. I mean, we have Cellspecs with her handkerchief on her head, and we have Voice of Reason with his glasses. The rest of them are completely naked. The color schemes are rather cohesive within the pony. I mean, we have Digi with all tones of violet. We have Cellspecs, who is blue and violet. We have Voice of Reason, who has orange and red tones. And, well, Golden Fox is orange through and through, with a little bit complementary blue in his eyes. Keep it subtle. Keep it... those are all three very recognizable OCs. You can show them to a lot of people who, well, at least know pony OCs on YouTube at all. And they will probably be able to say, like, oh, yeah, I've seen this before. It doesn't need to be super complicated with super many items like, I don't know, a vest, glasses, blue hair, and those thingies at the hoofs, and a super elaborate cutie mark for some reasons. Anyways, go with something like this. And another nice and easy way to stand out is don't go show style, go with some original style. Being it hand-drawn or digital art, just something to set yourself apart style-wise, and you're instantly recognizable. And of course, if you are the creative type, or at least know somebody who can be it for you, you can go to the next level and come up with something completely original, which has not been in the show before. And I mean, we have a sea pony hybrid, a chimera, a hippogriff, and a wolf. So, all of them are active members of the community. But once again, after you've seen all those examples, pony creator ponies, they often have a tendency to look very exchangeable because they all have this similar set of poses. There's often a tendency to give them oversaturated color schemes. So I would recommend, before going there and using a pony creator OC, you're better off using none at all. Okay, but you still probably want to have something there. So what about just a symbol that represents you? Or if you have a favorite pony and you feel like super connection to, for example, Twilight, what about the cutie mark, which is a stylized version of the ponies themselves? Or maybe using stock footage of an expressive pose you like Happy Pinky or whatever you can identify with. A thing you might not want to do is using original pony art from somebody else. I know this stuff looks amazing. I mean, a lot of them, there are super talented artists out there, and I know the temptation, and I have come across profiles on diverse forums using original art, and it's like, whoa, I know this piece, this is so amazing. It gives you a point to connect to this person, like, wow, you are into the same, you're following this, you enjoy the same artists as I do. However, the problem is you're probably using those without permission. And you don't know if this is an artist who maybe does this for a living, or at least does commissions to finance their hobby. And most artists don't say anything when you use their art. But it is, especially when you use it as an avatar, you cannot really give them credit. It's a very tricky thing, and out of respect for the artist, I would recommend not doing it. Still, liking, sharing, and giving credit, all thumbs up, or just ask the artist if he's okay with it. This is also always an opportunity. When you find the original piece on DeviantArt or whatever, go there, send them a short message like, hey, I really love it, would it be okay to use it? Now you basically have created your accounts with your hopefully pony neutral names and URLs, so you can, if you ever want to move on. You have decided on your avatar whatever you want to use. Now, there comes still a little bit of an advice I want to give you there. The advice would be hide your power level. For those who try to get the reference, it's going back to basically Dragon Ball Z. I don't know if somebody has no idea about it. They are superpowered beings. They have so much power in them that they can literally radiate it around them. And the thing is, those characters also have the ability to suppress the powers because they can kind of sense each other, but they can also suppress it that the other one doesn't know how strong you are. I personally did not come up with a phrase of hiding your power level. I myself learned it from DigiBro when we still did our podcast back then. And he himself only quoted a friend of his. So I have no idea. I take no credit for the term, but I'm going to talk about it a lot. Hiding your power level, what does this mean? It basically means that while you are a Brony and you totally feel, and you also want to show this, you want to let people know it, but you maybe don't want to let everybody know. You can wear hidden symbols. One example at this point would be, who in this room thinks that I'm wearing a normal gray jacket? Okay, okay, a few people. Who has figured out that I'm not wearing a normal jacket and knows why? Okay, why is it not a normal jacket?
It's a Black Mesa jacket.
Indeed, it's a Half-Life reference. I'm wearing a walking Half-Life reference, but everybody who knows Half-Life and takes a closer look will be like, whoa, Black Mesa. But who has no idea about it, who is not into gaming, will not have a clue. I'm wearing this jacket every other week at work. There are 3 people at work who have figured out what I'm wearing. My direct coworker, because I told him, our system admin, who is the nerd supreme, and at some point I was just standing out there on our outside area and was talking to somebody else, and our, what is it called, CPO, I believe, was standing next to me, and at some point he was like, sorry, is this a Half-Life jacket you're wearing? And I was like, yes, he recognized me. And this is amazing. I'm hiding my power level. I'm wearing a super nerdy outfit all the time at work, but nobody realizes. But the moment somebody does, it's like, yes. And same goes basically for ponies. Let's see. May I ask you to stand up and present your shirt? Okay, not, okay, then let's see. Do we have another victim? Not enough. Let's see. I was hoping for more of. May I abuse you after all? Wow. You can hide your face and just show off your shirt. Okay. It's a beautiful shirt. Every Fluttershy fan will love this shirt. However, even every non-Brony will look at it and be like, well, this looks kind of like, and if he ever heard or saw something about MLP, he will instantly recognize it and be like, oh, so you're a Brony, huh? And depending on you, if you are into this, if you like seeing those faces, and if you like maybe having to explain every now and then, yeah, well, it's actually a good show. It's the stigma from the 80s about this girly stuff, that's not true anymore. If you enjoy having this discussion, hey, I will not judge you. I personally don't. So, yeah, my advice would be when you go out there, do something that is not so easy recognizable as, for example, wearing a full-on pony shirt. An example away from clothing, for example, too much using the word example there, sorry about this, is something I did a few years back. I was a fitness coach before I moved to Berlin. And what I did in my last half year as this coach was I created a completely new playlist. And this playlist consisted to 100% of instrumental pony songs. And so these poor souls worked out for half a year to pony music without ever knowing. And that's another way to hide your power level, to have something. And if there would be a Brony in the in the course, they probably would have recognized it instantly and would have been like, I see what you did there. However, for everybody else, it was just hidden in plain sight. They didn't know what they were doing. They were probably like, that's strange music. I've never heard this before. But yeah, the workout was fine. They were happy and they came back next week. So, for everybody interested, this video is on my channel. No, sorry. But yeah, to come back to what can you do in general. Just a little bit of ideas. So instead of having the pony right there on your shirt, go with some abstract representation, like for example the cutie mark. And instead of having the logo of the show, why not go with something that is also recognizable to every single brony out there, but somebody who is not in the fandom will have no clue what it is about. So, at this point, you are basically out there. You have decided to which degree you want to hide or not hide your power level. You picked your name, you picked your avatar, you maybe created your OC, or maybe you were like, oh, you know, it's not this is important at this point. However, the very moment you do this, sooner or later, you will come into contact with our all-beloved trolls. And I'm only going to talk about trolls at this point, not about haters. Question?
Is there a difference?
I just want to point out that two subtle Rainbow Dash references can be easily mistaken for LGBT stuff.
Oh, fair point. If your favorite pony is Rainbow Dash, be careful about the symbolism you use, otherwise you might have to explain another interpretation that you try to avoid by not going all pony.
What's the difference between haters and trolls?
Thank you. Basically, I will only talk about trolls because, let's face it, the majority of all haters you come in contact with will probably be trolls themselves. Because think about it, if you really are pissed off by something, if you don't like this, if you are sick of those ponies, will you go to a pony picture or a pony video or a pony fiction or whatever, and why would you go there? And are you would have to be a masochist to go there and torture yourself with this hateful content, or this content that triggers you so much. So unless it just happens by coincidence that you cross paths and somebody is like, you're a brony, aren't you? Usually the loudest of them, the loudest haters, the ones that kind of hunt down bronies, they are all trolls. They are only there to get off on your reaction to it. They might be actually pissed off or don't like seeing pony stuff, but at the end of the day, they're not there because this is the reason. They are there because they want to piss you off. They want to have a nice reaction. And you can take it from me as somebody who is a little bit of a troll myself. Because if you have ever checked out one of my April Fools videos, you know that I like messing with people. Yes?
No, just a question. Have you ever encountered a troll?
Yes, I will get to this, no worries.
Yeah. Give me an example.
You will, no worries. But yeah, outside of the internet, I would probably refer to myself more as a prankster. Because the difference between a prankster and a troll, I would say, is a troll is mean-spirited. He is really there for his own selfish reasons to piss you off. While I enjoy seeing the people I was able to fool who leave comments like, what, are you serious? This can't be true. It's amazing. But I also enjoy it to reveal afterwards the entire prank and have a good laugh with the people afterwards. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings for real. And that's the difference between me and trolls, at least I hope. That trolls don't care about your feelings. They are super selfish. They are only there to get reactions, to get a kick. They get a kick out of annoying you, out of saying, hell, well, maybe if I up it up one more and throw in the stupidest insults ever, then he will break. He will leave some comment. He will be crying at home. And this is, how trolls tick. They want to see the reaction. And that's why they actively hunt down and group together and, enjoy it. There's no other way. That's why I don't want to say that there are probably real haters out there who really just get annoyed whenever they see anything pony-related. But at the end of the day, those people who are allowed, who are going to harass you, those are trolls who just want to see a reaction. So what would I advise at this point? Advice number one, or what should you do? The first thing you should do is keep cool and ignore this person. Don't show any reaction at all. Also, don't jump in to maybe defend somebody else. I mean, I had troll comments on my own channel who were calling me names and whatnot, and people were like, no, it's not the case, or don't be mean, or whatever. It doesn't work. Really, ignore it. This is the only thing you can do. And if you read the troll comment, you might feel the urge to be like, whoa, I am so going to put him into his place. I'm so going. He's especially when he really gets to you, when he says something that is hurtful. It is really hard to keep your cool and ignore it and don't react in any way, but do it. And once you manage this, go to the next step and block this person right away. It's a troll. It doesn't have. You don't gain anything from being like, oh well, maybe his next comment is not going to be this. This is still PG, so let's call it a mean person. I would say another word that starts with A at this point. There is this mean person who really only is there, who at some point is like, hey, I feel like going out there, ignoring the feelings of people, harassing them and hurting their feelings. Do you really need to read a second comment of this person? No. Block them right away, and while you're on it and you are on a platform like YouTube who allows reporting system, report them. There is a very small likeliness that actually the reporting has an effect, but it is only a click for you, and if everybody does this, I guess there will be effects. The problem right now is that everybody thinks there is no effect, and therefore nobody reports. But if one profile gets 100 reports each day because he leaves 100 hateful comments, I'm pretty sure that even YouTube gets off his ass and gets active. So if you follow those two very simple steps, you should be fine. However, I also want to tell you what, under no circumstances, you should do. Thing number one, don't try to reason with them. The problem is, whenever you want to reason with somebody, and I know that it is tempting, he leaves something really stupid that is incohesive in itself, it is debunkable right out of the door, it's just nonsense, and you feel like, good, you are so stupid. You want to tell this person how stupid he is. Don't try reasoning, because you have one big problem with this. He doesn't take it serious. He is not there looking for an honest-to-God discussion. He is there to have fun on your extent. And this is why you can have the best reason. He will ignore the reasoning and just throw the next fart joke your way. It doesn't have any purpose. So, I mean, there are very rare cases of, for example, Dr. Wolf claims that he has had this calm talk with a hater, and he, well, didn't turn him Brony, but at least he showed him understanding. The hater had the feeling to be heard and therefore calmed down. So this might be possible, but I would say in 99.9 cases, this is not going to happen, and nobody has this amount of unlimited patience and endurance to go through with it. So don't even try it. Don't stick with ignoring the person. And also another thing that is tempting, and this might sound weird coming from me, don't troll back. People who have a close look on me and what I do in my comment sections, I do troll back. But because, first of all, I'm a little bit of a troll myself, so, and unlike most trolls, I can not only take the heat, I can not only ship, I can take the heat. So the thing is, you might think at first, well, this is easy enough to troll back, but once again, you need to have a super high level of ignorance, because, as I mentioned, the person will throw this stupidest stuff your way. Absolute nonsense. And, the stupid stuff your way, sorry. Lost my train of thought there. And you will feel the need to switch into reasoning, to tell them how stupid he is at some point. Or another thing is that he is just coming back. You left a comment, and he comes back and he tries to up his level. And as I mentioned, I had my interactions with trolls. And those troll-offs usually take weeks, with multiple comments a day. And the question is, do you have really the endurance for weeks to go on, post every day a few comments to this person who is not taking you seriously and just leaves insults and whatnot on your channel? And you must, because the moment you start, you must go through with it. If you stop reacting to him, he has won, because he will pat himself on the shoulder and be like, yes, I got another one.
But who cares what he thinks?
No, the problem is he will be encouraged to do it again, because he won. In his head, he was the hero. When he leaves a hate comment and gets no reaction at all, he has no satisfaction. But when he leaves a comment and he gets a reaction, first of all, it's like, yes, I got one. And Then, if the person goes into a fight with him, he will be even more excited, like, look at this idiot trying to make his point, what a fool. And if you then stop, he will be like, well, look who was the better one to begin with. So, once again, I would say most don't have the endurance to go through with either of those. Don't do it at all. Stick with ignoring and blocking them right away. It's better for your own health, and you don't accidentally end up encouraging the person. But yeah, enough of this not very nice topic. So let's move on to another not very nice topic. So, because once you get involved in the community one way or another, you will also become witness to drama going on there. Being it about general stuff like they don't like development within the show, they don't like something that happens behind the scenes, or most often enough, even personal stuff between bronies who take it into public. I have one very simple advice to this that I can only give everybody: don't get involved. Don't. It is bad on so many levels for yourself. First of all, the moment you get actively involved, people will be like, say something, take my side, no, take his side, and don't. And the problem is you will come out of it a more miserable person. First of all, this kind of drama is exhausting. It will take stuff out of you. And second of all, it will also taint your perception of the fandom, because when you start, you see a great show, you see art, you make new friends, but when you get involved in drama, it takes a little bit of this away. It is not this candy-colored, pun intended, magical fandom anymore. It becomes a little bit more like the gritty reality. And while I usually don't try to preach ignorance, when it comes to this kind of drama, ignore it. You're doing yourself a favor. Because I have been involved, especially recently, because of some new people I interacted more with who are very crazy about drama, who have entire channels dedicated to it, like the Pony equivalent to, for example, Amazing Atheist, I believe is the name that many people rings a bell. Well, those channels who are there to talk about other channels and talk down on them and wash their dirty clothes in public. I had to sing like an ex-couple, both YouTubers, start a public mud fight on their channel, like with videos talking down on each other and calling them names. Just believe me, it's not worth it. Stay out of it. But okay. Enough of this. As a little bit of a final thought, in case you are not only going to be a member of the community, like somebody who leaves comments and collects art and whatnot, but in case you are, for example, somebody who also wants to give a little bit back towards the community, who either you want to draw, you want to write, you want to become a YouTuber, whatever, a commenter, what else is there? A musician, singer, yeah?
Organizer.
Yeah, it's not a content creator. It's a very valuable part of the community, not talking down on it, but the stuff I want to talk about now is not, is it? If you can organize a complete convention? Well, we see afterwards if it also applies for them. Basically, when it becomes to content creation and becoming a member who gives back to the community, I also talked about it a little bit in length, especially in the video how to get started on YouTube, which is obviously focused on YouTube because that's the one I have the most experience with and can talk most about. But because I already talked about it in the videos, I will keep it a little bit shorter here. I want to limit myself to 2 basic advices. Because often enough I read comments like, well, I want to be part of it. I want to give back. I want also the positive feedback. I have to say, when you become a content creator, do it for the right reasons. Do it not because you see amazing art and how it gets praised and how people enjoy it and you are like, I want to be part of it. No, do it because you like drawing. If you like writing, if you want to start writing a fanfic, only do it because you enjoy writing, or at least you have an interest in it and want to become a writer. Whatever content you decide to produce, do something that you either already enjoy or something that you honestly have an interest in. Don't do it for wrong reasons like, having the feeling that you need to give back. It can be a motivator, but it should not be your only reason to do this. And yes?
Is wanting to earn money on YouTube a right reason?
No.
Okay.
Right away. It's a super niche. MLP is a niche within a niche in the golden age for starting out on YouTube has already passed, so unless you have a super original idea, making a living off YouTube is like one of the hardest things, and starting out doing it, I would not recognize it at all, not even outside of the fandom. Because just for fun, I started a Let's Play channel a while back, and having one channel which has multiple thousand viewers, and then going back to a channel starting from zero, even with a kickstart, because obviously I advertised the new channel on my old channel, like, everybody, look, I'm doing Let's Plays, go all there. And it's only 350 subs there, and it's like super hard. To experience it from the beginning is like super hard. And I can only say, only do it for the right reason, and the right reason in this case would be you really like making videos, and if there are only 10 people watching it and giving you feedback and enjoying it, that should be enough for you. If it isn't enough for you that there are 10 people enjoying it, then it is not the right thing for you to do. Yes?
What if there are 10 people enjoying it and another 10 people hating it?
This kind of depends on how comfortable you are with this kind of mixed feedback. If you are like, maybe you have a little bit of a troll in you, I don't know. So maybe you enjoy the hate as much as you enjoy the actual positive feedback. I don't know. That's a personal thing you have to figure out. Or you are really just completely above it. You are like, well, sad thing, they hate it, but hey, I focus on the other guys who enjoy it. That would be my advice there. Another advice down the lines of expectation. Now I'm giving it away. About content creation is have realistic expectations, because often enough this usually goes along with people who have the wrong reasons for doing it. Because they don't have a passion for the craft itself, they do it for reasons like being a part of it, being able to connect to people, which is a great thing, but it might not be the right, content creation might not be the right way. Often enough, I have people like who have nothing yet, who have not a single video on their channel, and they are like, hey, I want to create my channel. Good for you. I want to do analysis or episodes. Not so good at all anymore. And I want to have a super big first video. Do you even know how to edit? And I want to collab with you and Dr. Wolf and Silvercrit, and I want to bring back Brony and everything. And I'm like, yeah, good luck with that. Tell me when you have a little bit of content so we know what you can actually do. And similar thing, animation is, for example, a great example. Somebody sees great animation out there and is like, this looks so awesome, I want to do this themselves. And then they animate their first 10 frames and they realize, this is hard work. So have realistic expectations. Start small, start basic. Don't expect instant fame. Don't expect positive feedback at the beginning. Be happy if you have the 10 people who are positive. There will be 10, especially when you start out and it is not your your special talent. You will your first product, even if you are determined to do this and you have fun about it, your first products will suck. However, if you have those 10 positive people who give you positive feedback and encourage you to go on, this is a good thing. So, yeah. Have realistic expectations. And which brings me to my final advice I want to give all of you. No matter if you decide to become a content creator or stay silent. No matter if you decide to hide your power level or wear your colors open on your sleeves, or in case of a rainbow dash head, on your head. No matter if you enjoy interacting with trolls, even though this probably is a little bit of a masochistic streak on your end, but yeah, however you want to approach the fandom, however you want to be part of it, however you want to go out there into the public, be comfortable with it. Do it on your own pace. Do it to the own level you enjoy, the level you feel comfortable with. If you don't feel like showing your face on camera, don't. If you don't feel like wearing something that identifies you as a brony right away, don't. If you're not comfortable about other bronies in real life at all, well, okay, this is kind of ridiculous to tell you at a convention, but don't! The very important thing is, however you go out there, be aware of the consequences. Be aware of the fact that depending on how much you show, you might attract trolls. Be aware of the fact that you might get negative feedback, that you might get drawn into drama. But to whatever degree you do it to your own degree you are personally comfortable with. And this is ANY Pony saying, see you soon.